much fun he's having, and just talking a bit as they're warming up, you know, just to kill the nerves, get the team started out on the right foot. Watching Pro League made Tyloo seem very appealing. Here comes the attack. It's a retake setup for FlyQuest, which means a free plant.
This little bounce nade out of ins really just...
It's the heroic retake here for the CT side. They're all coming down banana.
Okay, they're going to do it pretty quick. G's going to get wind of it. Here's that shuffle of at least one, maybe two pairs of feet, but the all four FlyQuest member retake coming right at him. Beauty of a first shot, keeps it clean, doing a good job of just staying alive here and shaving them off. For him to get two is big. We do get Tyloo to take over Church in the process, and then you get that insta-gush on Ints, but it's not enough to kill him. He joins forces back to the CT crossover. Retake very much deep on site now. Jamyoung buying time, a peek back from spawn, a perfect move here from Tyloo. Love the way that they come back at the CTs once they're on the site from 3 separate directions.
I wouldn't even say they didn't take their fundamentals seriously. They just weren't good at them. And they didn't have the confidence they have right now. Though that might be slipping a bit, considering now it's 2-2.
It's scary to bring up the amount of opportunity that FlyQuest gets on international stages. They're trying to throw a little fire in this round at the top of Banana. They'll flush them back, and also Regali, that MP9 that was still floating out there, gets the better of one. So hold on, because man advantage. Musia sees this opening on bracket side, wants to keep some space as his teammates come barreling up with him, but there are 2 defenders here. A crossfire that could still work out, but it's just now with the USP back site. An additional SMG comes flying up from Graveyard. Players burning, here within it all, supports nearby. Vexite, 1 man left, 1 man all they need.
Yeah, that's an excellent hold here on the A side. It is so fast-paced up until the very last second, and it comes down to 1 player. So Tyloo wanted to speed this up and make something happen really quickly.
Fast nades down towards Banana again. Vexite taking control of the situation with a spam on through smoke.
Full control. Well done, Vexite. That's when you can clock out early from your workday. You know, you got your 2 kills.
There are 2 teams left with their dreams alive. Everybody else in the building has been crushed or relieved. 5v3 gets cut back 1, but 5 seconds left means this one's over. FlyQuest tie this game early.
Yeah, that's, again, just Vexite getting a second kill blind. FlyQuest evening up the scoreline here.
European to Australian core, though. You know, that's an exciting one. That's like when Twist first joined EU. Not something we had as a Canadian community to cheer for previously. Liaz, good double kill from the pit. Just going to hold off the guns. Tech9's coming up from short side. But again, it's the right pieces in the right place. Jamyoung tries to throw a spanner in the works with a late arrival here from G. 1v3, misses his chance at the first clean kill, still gets away with it without taking any damage, and all while that smoke's still up on Moto's side. He gets another duel.
That's a good spot for him.
Netic just standing outside of the open, and Vexite takes the same position, same fight, and wins it.
But Regali, not seeing anything himself, starts to go back.
Good interruptive utility here from the CTs. Still though, Tyloo trying to take that chance to press in. Liaz just empties the magazine, and it convinces them to redirect over towards Arch instead. Ints falls back into the Moto cubby. Regali actually decides that he wants to make a move.
If they get back to Banana now, they have a chance to actually push out into CT, but they're still committing to A.
It's big damage. Vexite having to play on 28 points of health.
Taking too long to make that decision, it looks like.
Yeah, Inst decides to get aggressive over towards brackets. That's where he picks up the G-frag. Netic, he's going to trade that back. We've got 1 still Arch and 1 still over towards Boiler. 40 seconds for Tyloo to slow it down. They try to get this isolated duel going. It's even an upgrade in the gun for Mercury. And he's done a good job of pushing the CT back. If the bomb can join him, then they're going to take this 2v1 and try to run over towards that B site. There is critical pressure here on Netic. He'll cut off Mercury, could still get caught off by the second. But he does a good job on that pillar to just whittle Jamyoung down.
He works that pillar. That was actually amazing.
You spin that pole.
Yeah, he got the reload off. I think that kind of makes you mad, you know, if you're on the other side of that, you're shooting back. It's kind of like with Bat Boom, how we saw Cyrus playing so well, but then the rest of the team showed up too. Inns is kind of playing that part at the moment, but Vexite dies early.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Presumably a frag or some spam coupled with that Molotov on Banana. You think you got enough wiggle room, next thing you know, you're burnt to a crisp.
You step on the George Foreman.
Like walking in sand on a hot summer day.
I think Tyloo, oh man, might be making a mistake. You can see how active the mid defense is.
Tucked into the corner. Liaz, no worry, no concern. And Liaz tends to wear Counter-Strike in that way. Never too stressed. Regali has a reason to be pinched between the both. And Jam Young's going to open up that short side. Netic a little too far removed, unfortunately, for his liking.
Jam Young is going to pop off if he gets this kill.
Okay.
He's not one to do it, but it's versus Netic, who he fought at Speedway that last round.
Right.
That really annoying peek around the pillar. It's a little personal right now.
Netic said, "You can't even hit me." And Jam Young now tucked back, catches him walking through the smoke, gets 60 health shaved off, but Netic with another. How many bodies?
You're going to run into the up again. Regali, right place, right time. Smoke goes in early, and Inz is coming over, which I feel like it's got to be a foreboding sign, but they're coming through again.
Yeah, it's finally a time where they're not quite in the position to defend right away, but that's fine. Oh, so good.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing, man.
Sometimes we question the individuals of FlyQuest and their consistencies, and then other times you see when it all comes together at the right moment. And there are teams historically that could have used that. I'm going to say complexity of 2024, 2023, never had that resource, paid the price. FlyQuest amping themselves up, but Jam Young's got other ideas, and this double tech 9 kill towards Banana makes it interesting, because there is a gun to be picked up in a second, and Inz isn't able to stick around to defend it.
It's a very interesting molly, because Inz, he gives him time to run back to spawn. He can also just go ahead, stack A. The last time this happened, it felt like Tyloo made a little presence over on B, then just full committed. We don't want to see them make that mistake again, so it's actually good they're still here working it. Once they see this off now, though, what do they do? Very smart by them.
FlyQuest, know it or not, have put these last two A defenders in the right positions. If Regali is allowed to just get that first kill on Mercury, then anybody flooding down to site going to have a harder time, but he opts to fall into the site as they pop out. It's not a kill here from Liaz. Fire beneath him. It's a bit of a disaster in terms of a pit hold, and a missed shot from Regali means this one gets overran.
Okay.
And Tyloo come through versus 2, but to no avail for the FlyQuest squad. It is an empty-handed defense and a long-awaited but much-needed third round here for Tyloo.
This is a round where you can see that FlyQuest have a great read on their specific opponent here, one of the teams they play the most. But Inz, he doesn't full commit to A. That's the only extra thing they could have done better. But still, I like the call from Tyloo. We see that even though there is a pit player, there's 2 players on site, their approach is still organized. They still took their time to get in position. They don't just run it up lane again into that op. Maybe there is a world where they try it.
What's the setup? Netic and Vexate above one another, okay. And they start to push down, but there's a bunch of players here. Oh, they almost still all line up for Vexate. Luckily, Netic, similar angle, he's able to pull back.
No. This is a lurk that actually... Oh, they missed the CT.
Two missed nades, man.
Yeah, that's tough.
Can't be affording this. The very tail end of this half. And then they just kind of squeak their way around a corner into a sharp and patient-looking Regali. Waits for that arrival. There is still this arch wrap going down for Tyloo.
He's going to pretend to fight.
Trying to push in with an op, just gets straight up bested. It is a fight. And attackers smoked away from the bomb site with a 1v4 in 10 seconds. I don't think so. FlyQuest walk into the server today and send a message. No 4 series losses in a row is their hope. And a 9-3 half sure helps that. Gentleman's agreement. Run the same pistol, both sides. Why not? We'll see if they follow through, because Beretta's all... Oh, okay.
That's tough, but honestly, you're going to come through the smoke, so...
Oh, that's so Liaz.
Yeah. All right, well, here's the 4/5 of the heroic retake.
How read like a book does Musia feel?
See, the other difference is Inz peels back to CT spawn, right? Okay, well, there's a first kill.
Yeah, they clear him out. I mean, that's where G was able to get 2 kills on his post-plant as a terrorist pistol round. Now Banana falls. Still that same 3-player church push. We do get a CT rotate through their spawn, so that versus Netic would be key. Flashbang gets the coffins playered, peeled back. Vexite finds himself alone here, and he's trying to get him off, but nicely done.
Wow,
Tyloo comes retaking in through the back of Library and makes sure that everybody drops.
Very active. very successful. It's got FlyQuest flying through the smoke.
It's just a strong triple M4 crossfire. You got 3 rifles in this round, and all 3 of them inside of brackets. Nobody's taking nades out. It is just holding on to that smoke.
Yeah.
So Vexite and Inns slain. G right here to trade out. Only Liaz in terms of entry frag so far. And that Galil's going to find its target. The Desert Eagle will too. Is it all too little too late, though? That MP9 thinks so. Swings for the win. Make sure that one goes down smoothly. They'll save 2 M4s. So there's a bit of a cost here for Tyloo, but so be it. It's a round win nonetheless.
Yeah.
Looks like he's getting away from it at the right time, though, because now they're going to go 5 strong on Banana.
Yeah. I mean,
and there's nothing to really telegraph all this. It's just Musia back sight. They're eventually going to find him. This spray right at the end. Deagle in hand. 1-man army. Regali's going to get it done. Liaz still holding off on smokes, but here's the arrival of the rotate. So it is enough from a bomb site that looked like it was just going to get stormed through and ran over.
saw that retake on the pistol.
Now this post plant's feeling a little bit suffocated, I think. Ints just stuck back on new box. Thing that works well here for FlyQuest. Little utility for the retake. Smoke for G gets thrown out, or rather tossed over. He puts it in the front of sight. Do they take this chance? Because they're taking a bunch of damage. Obviously, they know damn well where Inns is at. Regali gives himself up. Jamyoung's headshot swift.
Wow.
And the second one right with it. Big clutch attempt for Liaz denied, and another retake Tyloo.
That's just lovely. Protocols, patience, everything like that. It's a new Tyloo, baby. That's an awesome retake. You know, that's no problem. But right now, if they're only good at the setups, then they're just the best at exercising.
Okay, well, yeah, no medals for that. We'll see if the boost here stops it, but it's another moment where it feels like the defense feels a little awkward. Musia, maybe not. Comfort zone
come on.
From 1, and then Jamyoung doubles with 2 headshots lined up on the attack. FlyQuest will get that bomb plant. And they better pray to God they're able to hang on, because Tyloo gunning for the flawless CT side at the moment. It's a fresh smoke over on Coffin, but that will fade with enough time for the retake to come out. And we've got kits basically across the board. A damn near lineup for Vexite. He loses his teammate behind him, and it's in the name. Attacker keeps that pressure up, post plant or not. Tyloo tie.
Wow. They're gaming rotations pretty well.
It's a couple of B-site setups that when you look at it...
First kill.
What's that?
They need to get the first kill.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Frag grenades barreling up onto Banana. They're just going to try to play with faster tempo. Why give time for Tyloo to get anybody closer? Jamyoung back sight only gets his 1, so between the 2 original defenders, it's a ton of damage. It's enough damage and enough of a precedent in these previous rounds. You should believe in the Tyloo retake. But the Tech-9's right here. Lethal range for these pistols. So concerned about the one behind that the next peek from the side of this works. Now Mercury, half health V2, and FlyQuest gonna peel that post plant a little more comfortably into the site with a smoke grenade in front of them. A deep nade over towards Dark finds nothing, but any other utility he could have thrown maybe gets him in there. He has another frag, but with the op, all that util he opts not to. And we've got FlyQuest finally winning a round on this T side. Working his way ever closer. Regali on the ramp, looks for the trade, and he'll find it. Ops on the prowl.
That was pretty crazy from Jamyoung. He was actually a little late to pushing down and to get comfy inside a Bell. But still got his kills. His kill, excuse me. 4 players left up for FlyQuest. Ready to stage this attack on A. It's gonna be full commit here with the Halls players.
Mercury loses his vision. Oh, never mind. He takes the chance to push around that. Nade doesn't actually land on anybody, and Regali's none the wiser that there was just an M4 posted on that corner. Attacker into the pit. Gets blinded in the process, so it's a clean entry from Liaz, but one that sections off balcony with fire and smoke. Then 2 defenders thrust themselves into the site itself. Dry swing out from Vexite gets them nothing. Man advantage here for Tyloo. Just hanging on, cool as need be. They sit inside this bomb site. You've lost pit control, but soon that smoke's gonna fade, and then there's a 3rd CT, and Inns is starting to clear this corner. He gets the fight. Regali cleared the one in the further corner. Now Musia's out in the open. What's he gonna do? The duels are right there. Sets the planter ablaze. Hunts down the pit fight, burning both players. That health is now so low for Regali. The jump over top here from Muzia. How, when, if ever, does he get a chance to turn to the second? He's just so fixated. And Regali takes his sweet time for the fight, ends it for FlyQuest. They'll get that much needed second.
Oh, make no mistake that round was actually close. Fighting back from the pit. He's playing with fire if he sticks around though. Yeah.
Vexite tries to chase him for a second.
Oof. Oh, he actually has no idea Vexite's this close.
Vexite's going to try to chase it, but makes noise in the process.
Okay,
you see that
Mercury
instant turn. Mercury now realizes he can't really go anywhere. He's just going to hold this in, and he finds that kill easy. Doesn't take any damage. Vexite really dropping an opportunity that would have cracked open an A site. Instead, they're going to attack this from boiler and mid. But down to the wire here, 15 seconds.
So close.
Attacker's out of the pit, and he's going to find that kill on Netic, that little health that was left. Player in the bomb site as well. Mercury, head tuck, FlyQuest, let this go down. The clock could decide it, and it's a murder! Tyloo slays them on the precipice of sight.
Yeah, that's a massacre, and unfortunately for Tyloo, man, after all of these good rounds and good calls, it's...
And they don't play it in round 23, so a pretty quick pace from FlyQuest to get up onto the brink of balcony. We've seen them try bracket time again, but this time they just try to pounce out, and it's costly. Both the apartments players dropped, and still they're going to try to flood in here. FlyQuest moving forward, rotate found. Vexite, double headshot, much needed. And
no
so,
wasted distance on those flicks.
Bomb
Instant
planted.
To the head, and now a 2v3 retake.
Smoked off. FlyQuest, great first half. Stalled for a moment. Welcomes the spray through it. Muzia, another nade comes down in front of him. He is going to feel like a shell of himself in terms of trying to help Jamyoung get into the site. Jamyoung with the last flash. Maybe that flash is enough to get Muzia through the smokes. But instead, the CT just takes this slow path, just trying to get around into the corner. I mean, this bomb is going to pop. You've got to go, and Jamyoung's the one with the kit. He gets the trade frag, but the pit player's going to cut him off. By the time he gets in there, there's no chance. They'll take their time. They'll do it. FlyQuest robbed Tyloo's map pick, and they are taking this series to Mirage, something that we haven't seen in this head-to-head.
Tyloo were a good team last game. I think their better rounds were a little bit more individualistic, some solid retakes. But now Mirage, they're going to have to go to a new level. And here is Mercury with 2 out-of-this-world shots.
Ooh, third one, okay. Right to the top of middle. Bit of a bloodbath. Gets gushed for 99, and he can run for the hills. Whoop. You got a sitting duck perched up top, but Jamyoung stays light on his feet and holds off the bomb carrier top middle. So unfortunately for Inns, who's the only guy to come at this from a different direction, it's not that his part of the play fell flat, it's that everything else did around him. Minute 10 to try to piece together a 1v4. Got to know somebody out there is very gushed. That would be Mercury. Ah. There goes 2/3 of what was left of his health.
It's about as hard as it gets right here.
Done.
Oh, got a kill in the end. But great round out of Mercury, right there from the bottom of middle. Every superlative you can think of.
Where the only team to beat FlyQuest at that tournament was Tyloo twice. So some bad blood in the head-to-head. Nice grenade.
They could have a Hunter moment. No one's beats FlyQuest 3 times in a row.
Well,
that's
like
already happened.
4 in a row if they deny them today. G welcomes the challenge by the looks of it. Wants to get this op ringing out. Him and his teammate holding off for the first 2 kills. Well done by Jamyoung, still yet to die on Mirage. Vexite gives away his position with the utility. Really making a hard job of people for hanging on. That's a 100 damage molly. Hot pot.
Damn.
Burnt out. It's funny because he was looking for some safe to stand and just couldn't find it.
Hey. Hey, we ain't judging.
Regali's got one from bottom middle. CT peek from ladder room will find him, and now it's just all in from the ramp play. So again, a little bit of a recovery here. Muzia can give them the wiggle room. You can take that site. He swings. Oof, misses a chance at striking them down. Now they're on high alert, but he's supported by the flashbang. Good team play. And they're going to lock down a majority surviving situation here for Tyloo versus Guns, and it's set up by G.
They're not pushing huge flanks very often. Very vanilla positions, but G's open, man. If he takes, he has a free shot here, and he has Palace smoked as well, but he misses.
Ooh, flash is good.
Wow, great spray.
G in with the assist for Attacker's double. And again, this is one of those moments where one half of your attack's gone south. Oh, Attacker's gonna triple up on this one. Only 16 health left for Netic. He gets swarmed from the site. 6-0 straight from the Tyloo defense. And it comes down to some just minute moments of great utility usage, even in the round prior.
Was it G's flash?
Yeah. Steven's on the other side, working alone as his 4 other teammates get up into the apartments. It's an off looking for early picks, but a great grenade. And we saw that all Inferno long. The frag grenades from Tyloo just had FlyQuest on the attack, so wounded all the time. They were finally able to break through to win that first map, but I feel like I give the utility edge to Tyloo in the first, and now certainly in the second as well. Muzia in a killer position. Such an impossible clear, but he'll fall out as top mid swings. Man, he doesn't even get punished, right?
I love that.
Missed cover, still just gets out of there. And that's gonna let everybody for Tyloo lean back somewhat. Up on the prowl in Regali. He's trying to pull a player off A site so that something can get unlocked here. But at 45, maybe it's gonna be the cat crawl instead, if not for the timing of Muzia. He'll find Vexite, G gives cover, and then Regali, who is looking for an opening, gets nothing. No bomb control, no chance at this clutch. He'll be lucky if he dies before time expires. You know they're gonna go hunting at this point because it's a phenomenal 8-0 Tyloo CT side.
You know, the idea is you don't let your underpass players come out before top mid starts to clear things out for you. After time. And not only does the underpass player die first, but the guy on cat stays alive, and they can even afford to miss an op shot to the top of mid. So it's just like everything right now that FlyQuest are bringing. Tyloo,
like you said, 13-11 win for Tyloo last time they met. Here we go, throwing caution to the wind. Not a lot to work with, but they'll try to charge forward. We saw them win a round like this on Inferno FlyQuest. When everything else starts to dry up, just get hyper-aggressive. And what do you know? That much-needed bomb plan for the Aussies. Still though, low health on 3. There's an AK floating out there in the hands of Netic. That's gonna be kind of between all the other pieces of FlyQuest. So the pistols take contact, the AK looks to clean up and hopefully close it. Jam Young's gonna find his headshot. 3 players strong from spawn. There's Netic's chance right here, right now. And it comes up a little short, but time is still ticking quickly. Mercury comes out with yet another kill, and Inta's position is well known. He's gonna have to spray, and he's getting some damage, but it's not enough to stop them. 9-0 Tyloo.
man, that's amazing.
Back to the main menu in just a moment. Potential for an underpass fight. We saw how cautious FlyQuest have been about underpass in previous rounds, but now this time, because they're looking for B early, guess what? This is the moment that Tyloo throw out this double push, and the bomb is sitting in T-spawn. Insta kill for Ints. You've got a B site, but you don't have the bomb to go with it.
They're coming to watch it. They don't know if the bomb's here, but if this goes on a little longer, then they're gonna get suspicious about the fact that no plant comes in. However, Mercury completely leaves.
There was just a play towards top middle for a second. Ooh. Attacker in the process of taking sight back already. But there's an awkward stall here for FlyQuest, and do Tyloo figure out that there's no real control behind it, and no bomb needed even, because by the time that it gets closer, Tyloo have retaken a site before the plant could ever happen. Total recovery of B before Vexite can walk that bomb up.
That's a bit of a disaster. I mean, what they wanted was for someone to try to retake early because they have all these players just sitting, waiting, not having to cover a bomb planter. They get that, and Attacker still gets his frag. This is for 10-0.
Done.
4 alive, 10-0 here for Tyloo.
We talked about how, like, you know, sometimes you wake up, it's about a mental state on a day like today is sacred. Netic tries to get this one going. You're gonna overwhelm the offer while the gun's on cycle. Mercury still hanging on to top stairs.
Lee has first 2 kills of the game.
There we go. The oh-so-elusive first round win from FlyQuest, by the looks of it. You know what? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they're going to win this one.
Really annoying that you had to jinx it, Connor. You know the rule. You know, bring it up.
Mercury slips into bottom con, and he hears that jump up from Netic. So there was rumblings of a climb up into the window. Obviously, jungle player is going to stay fixated on it, and Mercury will have a choice. To push through is his decision. And unfortunately for him, Inns was sitting around waiting for that kind of activity to come out from Tyloo. And that's in a 5v5 as well at 40 seconds. So you put a little more pressure on the bomb sites to hold themselves. G's gonna feel fully exposed on ticket with nobody covering ramp, but I love the reposition and the reaction. Snaps it over to Liaz, then the jungle defender comes out, and all of a sudden, the life of FlyQuest gets sucked out of this final round of their half. You said 2 rounds is a world of difference, but that second round, no guarantee. 11-round response from Tyloo after failing to close Inferno.
Really solid, especially from G. There on the op performance. All they got to do is stick the landing.
That site burning. Tries to swing off the flash. Can't see Jack, but still can't shoot. A triple kill from those Berettas? That's insanity. Jam Young stuck on the bomb site.
I think those flashes were doing some heavy lifting right there, even though they tagged him as well.
Vexite just doubles his kills with one wild spray down of the Berettas.
Jam Young.
And they're going to come dunk a nade on his head. So 17 health left for Jam Young, 1v4. And what do you know, FlyQuest, I'll call it what it is, a much-needed pistol round win.
Yeah.
What else you got to do?
You got to go more specifically. It's only 10 for overtime. Then we just reset.
I'll go even better.
Okay.
It's only 11 to the win. Wow. I would head down reading notes, surely. Liaz and Vexite with the M4s on the windowsills. Nobody's supposed to get in, and Vexite keeps it relatively clean. 1 death, not the end of the world.
That's not what they're thinking about right now, though. This 5 getting close to a map 3.
Head down, here comes the attack. It's fast. Liaz just trying to dive into cover. You got nobody to help you yet. Vexite, a little bit of late arrival on the cat play. He will still fight back though, and it's that bench control from attacker that clears out the site. Retake needed, 2 versus 4. Tyloo not gonna waste much more time. You can have a pistol, you can have a sigh of relief, and then it's a snap back to reality.
You see why G was reading those notes last time. That exec was perfect, and Liaz's struggles obviously matter now. That's 5 kills for Liaz. Second to the last round, he had 0. Call's going to be an A play, very simple. Jam Young at a minute's going to throw the window smoke himself. They're going to come try to search this inside of middle. 3 are going to be spotted. This will be huge for Tyloo, though, who could speed up the ramp. Now, FlyQuest have to be extremely careful.
Jam Young.
They're going to try to spread back across the site. They're given time to do so, however.
Netic still floating between positions.
Triple. I mean, they're not going to know he's here, but...
Yeah, he'd need a quad. Him and Netic. Kill a pop so far, slows down Tyloo for a second. Jam Young still has an activated top middle, and you know Muzio's going to be a little more timid because he's low health. Now cleared off that Tetris climb up. You've got damage done to the stairs player. Attacker is on the prowl.
And here's the lurk.
And he's bought up just enough time for Jam Young to eventually come through. He's still just single-handedly peeling these players off. Bomb's gonna have to get picked up at 15 seconds. This is a murder of a Mirage game here from Tyloo. But shot just the right amount of cover. Attacker, 3 kills to his name. And he goes for the wall bang onto triple, dropping Ricardo to 60. You said double, triple? Here's his quad. 4 kills from Palace like it's nothing. It is, I'm going to call it a failure of a season. They have a single best of 3 win over any European competition, despite some of the most outings as an Australian/Asian team. Tyloo, the bane of their existence regionally. Jam Young taps into 3 and 5. Baby! Unbelievable! 5 on the trot, slain step by step.
That's the best crosshair placement in Asia. Jam Young. Oh, the adjustment on the first kill was enough to elicit a reaction, and then this. One of the best clips we'll see at this major. He's not preempting the utility, though. Oh, he missed it.
Awkward. They flood down. Jamyeon lets him out. It's a good amount of damage, so G is able to clean up what the other two defenders started, and they lock off A main as well. Not a single player for the defense dropped out of this one. Regali sent packing. Look at his wounds already. 55-second save. I'm afraid on FlyQuest's behalf.
Yeah, man. We've seen starts like this before. Regali 1-on-5.
Okay.
Regali 1-on-3.
You make it a little easy when you line up like that.
Turn 2 to Kebab here.
First shot skewers. Looking for that third kill instead. I mean, considering like at one point he thought he was going to get run down and not be able to save, I think you've done a good job of keeping that op in your hand. And he'll find some refuge here in CT spawn.
But it was genius.
I hadn't thought of that. Lesson learned. Be careful, Regali's out there. Or maybe throw caution to the wind. G meets Regali in the opening fight of the round. All that effort into saving an op, and it hits the ground in the first 10 seconds of the follow-up.
This one's going to take a second. G puts himself in the perfect spot if they're going to walk up across this. And an intriguing kill here for Inns.
Tech9 drive-by gets past it. A little awkward here for the op that starts missing. You have given the space over.
Nice fallback shot.
But as Liaz goes hunting, G's gonna gun him down. That's the bomb to escape here. Netting with a great chance at a 1v2, but will the timing work out?
Yeah, Jamyeon's now, he actually stopped for a second, so he's gonna be a little slow to the jump in terms of getting into the site. He's actually got to start walking, surely. Netic watching this. Doesn't know if they've played together, but didn't hear it.
Muzi is still super far off.
Yeah, the amount of utility though, it's gonna force Netic to peak. I feel like it's gonna be very hard for him to challenge this.
He's probably gonna have to come at this from
an early fight, right? Oh, Molly to heaven.
Gets burned out. He can still try to fight this one from bricks. They've still yet to cross. It's a good chance to kill one player off the play, but then he gets drawn so far out chasing the first kill, fully exposed to the swing of the second. Tyloo double up on main, and it works. 4-0. Yeah, I can be calm. Slams his desk after losing that one.
To be fair, that's the first time I've seen him do that.
The pressure's mounting. Okay, Regali reacts to the A main aggression.
This is actually so brave that G came back out on this angle. They could drop their guard. Mercury is also allowed to walk up because the op is not in this spot.
Being risky. Op looks over towards A main instead. Regali's posted, waiting for that repeat. Mercury, though, gets a couple of kills in the process. So we go back even 3v3. Minute 15, plenty of time, but the bomb is here where all these kills keep going down.
I love that G made that risk, and he didn't do it alone. We had that push out from Dark. It really helped even the numbers here. Even though it makes it a 3v3, it's hard to say it's in favor of FlyQuest right now. CTs haven't been rotating over just yet. I think you want to leave one in mid, bring one back to the B site. Yeah, and have one push. Ooh. That nade as well is going to slow him down. A Molly too.
Yeah, but the Molly gets extinguished, so it looks like the bomb plant could be made a little easier, and they just noticed this flank already in position. Ooh, not able to stop that plant. G will find the wall bang, so that's Netic dealt with. Attacker can look further on. Regali's able to hold off that flank, so he's now turning back to site to help. Gunning for that first round, already on the defuse. He's got to clear him, but G sticks it. Bomb's the priority.
Oh my God, they didn't waste any time.
Able to hang on. Yeah, everybody's a tough guy once the game starts, but G's talking trash before it begins. Mercury here from platform's gonna shave off some health with the utility, and so already first blood to his favor, already rotations in, and bodies drop on the FlyQuest side of things. Still they're trying to pressure this back. back-to-back plat play, and he just gets up into the smoke. They have lost track of Mercury. Problem for him is that he doesn't have any bullets in his gun, and so it's a pistol in hand and teammates inbound. One of them from Temple, one of them from Long. Still stuck on this USP. Felt like an inevitability that they would find him, but it's still just enough of a distraction that Jamyoung comes out with the trade. And now Ince is looking for this clutch. Gets a reload off in the middle of it all. And it's a big move from this Temple player. He's gonna call it out. Fakes it once. Here's that jump down towards Cave. So now he's got these positions figured out. Ince knows he could have just left. Tries to take the duel instead, but it's in those duels that Tyloo keep coming out on top.
This game gets kicked off with Jamyoung's.
But that self-belief for FlyQuest has slowly been chipped away at all season long, and leading now to maybe the most important match of their first season in 2025. And it's damn near 2 13-0s in a row. You gotta turn it around, and it's gotta be now. And Jamyoung's having none of that. Him and Muzia, again, like you said, the setups on the fountain, it's just that bit of confidence, that one extra step. And I think we get it again as they go aggressively into A main, freeing up a player towards middle. There's no pressure there for FlyQuest. And it feels like Tyloo are just playing in total control of this series now.
Flow state. No one dies alone in this CT side so far. Here comes the B attack. We see the positions on B side. I mean, there's only one actually here. And a bunch of support. Now Jamyoung gets a bit closer. Flash is excellent. Info with that. Bomb spotted.
Jamyoung's able to hold on to his angle. Jail challenge goes south. Luckily for the T's, Vexite trades that one out. He's now stuck behind Obelisk. And we've got Regali trying to give cover, but now all of a sudden his teammate gets picked off.
Time
and
pressure.
It's him who has to plant at 10. A shot that could have been, knowing there's a player up in Temple, but he's awkwardly trying to fumble to grab that bomb back from Jail. A much needed plant, and the 5-7's gonna run him down. Tyloo can do no wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're all seeing now moments from Tyloo's perspective because they're just winning all these engagements, but FlyQuest are swinging out into a duel and just losing.
The Tyloo collect themselves inside CT spawn. Muzia's position gets predicted. That Tech9 softening him up nicely enough, but at a moment's notice, Temple could just flood out into mid if it chooses to try and go help this A site that feels like it's under attack. The assault begins. Nedic gonna lead the charge down. Tech9 streamlining at Muzia, who was taken low. And no scope from G. No chance at the follow through now. Regali's got his hands on a gun. Jamyoung and Attacker both quickly out from camera.
Can't be missing.
Sniper's gotta connect. And now they all start swinging and they'll find it. The first round from FlyQuest. If there is a comeback to happen, it begins now.
Yeah. Overall, when we get to the next stage, the game's gonna get a lot harder, but you can't tell me some of these rounds aren't impressive.
Muzia very quickly into the fight. Versus guns. Not an issue. Content to take that aggression. Slight gap, though, in the defense on the B side. You've got just Attacker's MP9. He's got a smoke grenade if he wants to drop it in front of him, but the timing looks good here for FlyQuest. They're going to try to strong-arm their way in. But that perfect distraction as Mercury slides up from E-Box and slays them where they stand. You cannot find openings nor round wins. FlyQuest stall out on one. People always said, right, what if all the RMRs came together? Wouldn't Europe just dominate and take all the slots? And at this replacement of the RMRs, the inaugural stage 1 of a major at a 32-team event, guess who dominated? Europe. All the way through. Every European team barring Metasport. But what other region steps up in the space left by Mongols? Chinese Counter-Strike today, looking to secure 2 places in the second stage of Austin. And to do it in such a convincing fashion versus a rival that, as they went on throughout 2025, have tried to turn heads and yet come up short time and time again. Tyloo are not just beating FlyQuest, but they are setting themselves apart from the pack. Liaz and Nedic to draw this round back as it felt like it was over.
No, this is crazy. They don't even
Every
have
round
the
they can win now important.
They have fought back. They have fought all across the map. It feels like almost no intention to win. The way that they're playing just out of pure frustration. And there's Mercury to almost see somebody. Bomb's going to go mid, which means they could lead it through camera if they want to. Total guessing game here. Yeah. actually another position that Tyloo had in the bag. Played it a little loose and fast, and Nedek punished that camera opper. And so a second T round. Greyhound used to beat him up.
Stacked up in sight, attacker hits the dink while blind, but it's a double entry coming out from Liaz. And we got to start taking this bit of a T side a little more seriously, because in the final closing moments it felt like a total domination. FlyQuest have found a response. Like you said in that last round, kind of playing it as if they weren't even trying to win, just getting through the motions of these last couple T rounds. But you said it back on Mirage, I'll say it this time. There is a big difference with just 3 rounds of a half. Pistol, we mean everything at the start of the next one. A Hail Mary of a retake here between Muzia and G. 2 high-performing players, but that bomb's so far gone. They don't have a kit. I mean, this is already unwinnable.
Just go for it, guys.
Last round of the half, we're sticking around until it's ended. 3 for FlyQuest, but long gone are the smiles of the Aussies. It is desperation on the other side of this. Only one team moves on. Actually bring this all the way back from down under.
It's a very serious moment.
Get it?
That was,
Get it?
yeah. That is the question. That is the question.
Ince to be given a chance to lock this down. You've got majority of FlyQuest on the site. Flashbang stalled them for a second. Then all of a sudden, Tyloo recover vision, recover the push, trying to clear out platform. They'll do just that, and this bomb plant is theirs for the taking. Jamyoung goes deep, and as he does so, Regali may be kicking off this 2v4 retake in a swifter fashion. Smoke goes down to try to cut off any kind of vision over towards Long. We're getting a mid-wrap to Temple, but the bomb is planted on the other side of this. Mercury's gonna have to come through a smoke at some point. This is getting awkward, but Tyloo just gives space to FlyQuest. They do find one. That flank comes out. This is a much-needed pistol, and G's gonna pop Vexite right in the middle of it. He'll get that second headshot, and Tyloo will give no space over.
That's right. Pray to G. This guy. Their last hope, a full buy. Can they really come back on a CT side of Anubis?
They try to take that fight again. It's the same thing that got Vexite first blood 1 round prior. Finally hanging on to a rifle. Takes the chance again. Pays the price.
Almost a trap laid there by Jamyoung. That last op shot through the smoke from G could have been the end of the match. Vexite dying early on the site they want to go to. Regali, the European talents come over to this team to try to save them. Now between a molly and a smoke.
Oh, and he even hits that shot over towards Fountain. Not able to get them out of the bomb site. They will walk all over it as they have to FlyQuest time and time again. Not just stepping on, but stomping out this opposition. G will keep his eyes on the flank. It's a desperate retake attempt here for FlyQuest. That fleeting dream of progressing at a major has escaped them again. From 2-0 starts in Shanghai in Austin to an elimination at the hands of Tyloo. A retake attempt valiant, but not nearly enough. And on the final day of the first stage of this major, it's China to come out number 1. Lin Vision and Tyloo